Hello. Okay, so I've got 10 minutes before I have to get to work, and if I don't do this now, I'm not gonna do it ever. Let's talk Daredevil. Well, first of all, I already watched Avengers Age of Ultron. So that's after we discuss Daredevil. That's the next thing we're gonna discuss. We need to, so I made, a list. We need to discuss Daredevil. We need to discuss Batman versus Superman trailer. And I think we need to do also a Star Wars bit, because today is May the 4th, and may the Force be with you all, because Star Wars is epic. And I saw the trailer on 3D when I saw Avengers, and I loved Avengers, but the trailer was the best. I could have bought the ticket just to watch Star Wars trailer. It was amazing. I mean, I cried. And I don't cry with movies or TV stuff. I mean, who cries with books, right? Everyone. So, Daredevil. Let's talk about Daredevil. First of all, let me say I absolutely love the show. I think it's brilliant. I think it's what Daredevil needed. Yes, I haven't read a lot of Daredevil in the comic books. Mostly I've read when he does pair-up things. I've read some of the things with Iron Fist. I've read when Daredevil's when he's involved in all the crossover events, like Original Sin recently and Civil War, and well, he wasn't mentioned much in House of M, but all those comic events Marvel has, I've read the Daredevil ones. But in general, we all know what's the tone of the comics of Daredevil, which is not the Ben Affleck movie. And although I think Ben Affleck might do a good Bruce Wayne, he was definitely not a good Daredevil. Starting with the suit, ending with the weird sonar thing they do when he sees things. It's just weird. No, definitely not. And this, it was awesome. From the costume and the progression to the characters. Wilson Fisk is definitely the villain you have to fall in love with and then you hate, because you understand his point of view, and that's very important about the Kingpin. Like, every Marvel villain has a human center to them. Loki, in the end, he just wants to be accepted, even though he's not human, and even though he goes the wrong way about it, he wants to have a sense of belonging, and that's why he wants to be king, because he knows he can be better than Odin. So Kingpin, he, in his twisted worldview, let's not look at it from the illegal point of view. Let's look at it from the entrepreneurial point of view. He's a businessman. He wants the city to be bigger in terms of business. He wants investors, he wants progress. Yes, he goes the wrong way about it, but essentially he doesn't want a bad thing. He wants the city to be better. He wants the same thing Matt wants, except he goes under the water about it, and he deals with, mafia and stuff. So yes, he's a villain. He's very damaged and he is violent, but he has this human side, which brings me to Vanessa. Vanessa is amazing, and I need to see her as another Kingpin outside prison, because spoiler alert for all those of you who don't know about the comics and don't want possible spoilers for season 2 or the Defenders movie. So we all know Kingpin becomes Kingpin in prison. Yes, Wilson Fisk is a powerful, mad for power man, and he's very violent, and he's not afraid to crack skulls, as we've seen. But he becomes the Kingpin in prison. That's what gives him all the web of criminals to control. He realizes where his true potential is. So, what I want to see is Vanessa doing what Kingpin's been doing in this season. She has to be the public face. She has to be the businesswoman who controls everything before the cameras, in front of the cameras, while Wilson Fisk will be the underground leader. I really want to see that on the next Daredevil. I also thought Foggy was brilliant. I also loved how women were treated in the show. They were not only damsels in distress. Yes, we had Paige's moments of damsel in distress. But hey, she grabbed the gun and took care of everything by herself. And now she has to deal with what she's done. I love that closing scene with Matt and her, and she's like, yes, Kingpin is away, but that doesn't take away what we had to do to get here, what we had to go through to get here. I thought it was an incredibly grounded show. I thought it captured really well the essence of the Marvel Cinematic Universe while giving it a whole other level. I mean, you have these very subtle ties with, I mean, the Avengers is not that subtly tied in because they pretty much mentioned the Chitauri and the destruction of Manhattan. But you have all the subtle clues that links it with S.H.I.E.L.D., that links it with Hydra, that links it with things that we're gonna have to see later on if we're gonna get an Iron Fist show. We have the Hand, you know, the Red Ninjas, and we have this other like secular magic thing with Stick, and which brings me to Stick and the 2 chapters that were a little fluffy. So the show is great. You have, as a network, I mean as Netflix and Marvel, you have this huge challenge to keep people binge watching. Because if 2 episodes are boring, you're gonna stop watching. It's not like in TV shows, then the episode can be a bit boring, but as long as the end hooks you, you might tune in next week. Right here, you get 13 hours of show, and if it's not enough to keep the people watching, they may lose attention. I mean, yes, they might finish the 13 episodes because it's there and you don't have to push next on Netflix, but you really do need to make it interesting. And I think Netflix and Marvel found a way of taking advantage of not being a TV network, in using all the violence they could use in the right moments, of using all the cinematics they could use properly. I mean, those fight sequences, the second episode fight sequence, you know, the hallway with the Russians was amazing. And the one in the car, then everything's from the blind guy point of view, you know, the car, and then the camera turns like this, and then you don't see Daredevil, and then you see him and he's punching guys. It's just amazing. It's really well done. There's just one episode that I wish could have been better, and it's the one with Stick. And it's not because the whole magic thing that goes on, because that is necessary. Because, want it or not, we're gonna have to deal with Iron Fist sooner on, and it's gonna have to get stranger, because we're getting Doctor Strange, who's probably gonna tie in better with Daredevil now than the Avengers. I wish. And I really want to see Natasha or Clint on Daredevil. That would be epic. And we know Matt and Natasha have a history, and we know Hawkeye. I mean, come on, a half-deaf guy with a blind guy, that's just an epic team waiting to happen. We need Hawkeye in Daredevil, Marvel. We need it. It would be epic. So, the Stick episode, I thought it was a bit... It felt like fluff. Stick is necessary, and yes, I get that they needed to introduce this weird magic possible kind of thing, and Destiny, and he will be ready and all of that. But the episode still feels a little meh. Nah, they could have done without it, but I get why it was there, and I was glad that it was just like halfway point, and there was so much else going on that you're like, okay, let's move on and see what else is happening. I think it's the best show Marvel has done. I think it's the best superhero show. It's so good, and the super stuff is so low-key but well done that even if you're not a comic book fan, you will enjoy that show. You're not gonna feel like maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., everything is like overly techie, alien, I don't get what's going on here. This is just a criminal show with a guy who kicks butt and doesn't see, because, you know, he hears and feels the wavelengths in the air. And it's really cool. I love the bleeding kind of like fiery thing when he sees like the world on fire. I love it. And so we get Night Nurse. So for all, I'm sure you caught that Claire has all the potential to be an important character later on. So there's this character in the comic books that's called Night Nurse, and she actually does what Claire's been doing with Daredevil. She's a nurse that takes care of the good guys' injuries at night. And that nurse gets to date Luke Cage later on in the comics. So we might get to see more of Claire in the Luke Cage show. Also, David Tennant on Jessica Jones. That's gonna be awesome. He's gonna be the bad guy. I can't wait to see that, and we should get the Jessica Jones show, I'm guessing September or October, somewhere around that. Well, that's been like a very brush of Daredevil, because it's been 10 minutes and maybe we should make these 2 videos. I don't know. One more thing I need to say, because I really loved it. I read this article about how the writers and the directors handle the angst on a dark comic piece. So you got Batman and Superman, and the DC movies, they just seem to be sad all the time. Like, they are sad, and everything else, it doesn't matter what happens. I mean, even if Batman gets laid, he's still sad. Instead, we get Matt Murdock, and he's not just sad because he needs to be sad. And this is a guy who could be, you know, on the floor weeping all the time because he's had a crappy life. On top of it all, he's very Catholic, and then of course he's very guilty about what he has to do. I love how they handle the religious stuff. I love all the church moments. They were very introspective but not boring, and they gave us this window into why Daredevil could be all mopey and sad, like Batman is all the time without a reason, because come on, he's Batman. Why are you so sad? Yes, your girlfriend died, go get another one. Daredevil, we need to know what happened to his mom. His dad died trying to do the right thing. He's blind. He can't keep a girlfriend for more than 2 months. He's still obsessed over the Greek girl, which is Elektra, if anyone noticed. And we need Elektra on the show. And he still manages to put on a freaking costume, go to the rooftops, and listen for crime. He's not contemplating the city and brooding over what's gone wrong with his life. He's on the rooftops listening to crime. I mean, the guy is epic. The guy is awesome. And angst is like that sadness. It's needed, but they don't abuse it. They take it and grab his darkness and make him a better person. Because in the end, he just wants to be a better person. He wants to make his city I just want to make my city a better place. So, yes, that's been Daredevil. And I think I need your thoughts on it, because you always have this very unique point of view that makes me think more, and I should go and binge watch all of it again. Meanwhile, it's May the 4th, and everyone should do a mini Star Wars marathon. If you can only watch one movie, then only watch one movie. Watch Empire Strikes Back. Any Star Wars movie you want. Even watch the Clone Wars. Just watch Star Wars. It's epic. And episode 7 is coming soon. We need to talk about that. So, it's been great. Bye.